Right, so welcome to episode 1 of my podcast, although as Gavin has quite rightly pointed out, we're not even sure if it is a podcast because it's video conversations. But essentially, I am talking to members of my online community who are focused on building an online business and learning the skills to do that, about the problems they face in having an online business. And so it is aptly named I'm Terrible at Online Business. So for anyone who, even if you're not in the community that I'm in, which is the SFM, which is transitioning into mentors.com, if anyone is watching this who is starting their own online business or has been building an online business and they struggle, human that you are, this could potentially be for you. It's just a sort of light-hearted way to make fun of the stresses that are involved. So my first guest, I'm very lucky to have on the show, is a long friend of mine, and he's been running his online business for a few years now, has achieved some success in his business. He's also achieved success personally through going on this journey, because it's quite a trying one, I think we'll all agree. And so I will introduce him now. Pioneering I'm Terrible at Online Business with me is Mr. Gavin Maclean. Gavin, hello.
Hello. Good
Hello.
Introduction. Good.
It's not bad, is it? It's not bad.
Yeah,
I'm all right with that.
Yeah, it's good. Good. Long, but...
Too long? Too long?
Yeah. No, absolutely engaged. Hanging off every word.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. Oh, I realised there's a towel on my radiator. Let's take that off, just to keep it all professional. So, give me some context on who the hell you are.
Okay.
Broad.
Where do I begin? So I did the affiliate stuff for a long time whilst working as a teacher, and I enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed them both. Like I didn't leave teaching because I hated it. Like I left teaching. I actually got into teaching because I enjoyed teaching. I just left it because of all the politics and the paperwork and the report writing.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but whilst on this journey, I kind of realised I had I don't want to say a knack, but I had a lot of people coming to me asking to talk about mindset things, so blocks and barriers and self-limiting beliefs. And I kind of started to question why. Why do people keep coming to me? And I think maybe it's the persona of the teacher. And then I just realized I had this kind of love for coaching. So I kind of started with the affiliate stuff, and then now I am transitioning into coaching and really upskilling my knowledge and experience as a coach.
So you've still got something going on with your affiliate marketing or your affiliate business at least, but you're not so it's not moving forward, but it's where it is and it's doing its own thing.
It's like when people get snails and race them. My business could be in that race. Like I'm just procrastinating on rebuilding my business. That's essentially what's going on. So
solid business strategy.
Yeah. So basically I thought I'm going to get back into this business, and in order to do that, I'm going to find every reason why I can't work on my business, because to me that makes sense. That's that's really productive. But no, I mean, to be fair, I say that's just talking about the affiliate stuff. The coaching stuff, I'm working pretty flat out, to be honest.
Okay. And is that where your passion more is?
I genuinely like them both. I think long term, I see it as the affiliate will be an income stream, but also the coaching will be an income stream, and they'll kind of run alongside each other. Right.
Got ya. So they'll offset each other. And then also there's room to grow in both areas. So that's kind of what's motivating you with your online business, is that you want to diversify your income streams, have various different things coming in from various different angles. Don't we all? Just lots of money. And then, somehow find some sort of fulfillment in that sort of situation. But, at the moment you're focusing mainly on the coaching and you're pretty bloody busy with it.
I am at the minute, yeah. I'd say I enjoy it. It's good. I've been working with someone else in the community, a fellow ginger.
I wouldn't know.
A certain product, Mr.
Yeah, probably haven't met him.
Don Hathaway or Dan Holloway, maybe one of the two.
Classic.
But no, so obviously we're working together on some things, which is going really well. I'm enjoying working with him. It's quite nice it's nice though to work collaboratively with somebody who you've been so close with.
I love that.
So Yeah. So yeah,
That's
he had an
hence the
idea.
podcast, because I like working with people.
There you go.
It's a lonely world. Okay, so let's get into it then. What is it that you are terrible at on online business?
I'm really terrible at, and I'm just noticing by the looks of my camera, it looks like I'm terrible at DIY as well. I glanced at that earlier and I was like, I promise you,
it's not
it
even
is
DIY.
straight.
That's just eyes. I'm terrible at seeing.
So no, in terms of the context of business, I am terrible at copywriting. Like, terrible. And I think you can testify to that as well.
I don't know. You say you've gone down this path, but I don't. I've seen some terrible copywriting in my time. I have actually been guilty of it, but I wouldn't necessarily say you're terrible. But regardless of which, it's not for me to say what you're bad at or what you're terrible at. I have got a long list in case you're interested. I'm joking. But if that is what you want to talk about, let's talk about how terrible you are at copywriting, why you're terrible at copywriting. Tell me about it. What's going on?
Yeah, do it. I don't know whether it's like my teaching background, because obviously in teaching we teach the kids to like expand on the words, whereas I think sometimes with copywriting, to the point, short.
You're getting you're really cutting those words there, aren't you?
You're cutting short down to short.
I thought the next word ended in P, so you've got like anything with it short and happy is short. Anyway, carry on, sorry.
So short, sharp.
I was right. You got short and sharp. There you go. That's brilliant. Genius.
Yeah. So I was going to say short and sharp.
Which is short.
Short. Okay, you heard it here first.
Yeah, got it. Right, here first.
So short, sharp. Well, I don't know what I was saying. So I think
this is a shambles. Okay, so copywriting is direct, basically, and it's so less descriptive. It's less like you have to be very, and it's active language as well. If anyone doesn't know what active language is, it means he was going to go to the beach would be he's going to the beach. I don't know. Well, I can't even come up with an example. If I had more time to prepare, I would. But yeah, so copywriting is challenging for you because it's short, sharp language and sentences.
I think we spend so much time trying to encourage the children to write in a way that's kind of expanding their vocabulary, if that makes any sense. It's very much like, don't take 10 words to write something when it can take 30. And it's kind of like, add.
You teach that in school?
Well, we teach them to. No, we don't. Teach that.
I'm terrible at teaching. Maybe that would be a new podcast series.
But
okay.
No, I think no. It's just we encourage them to include like description, adjectives, and to use these.
You teach to expand language before you teach to condense.
I mean, we teach kind of both. If we're doing something like poetry, then we're trying to condense it down. But more often than not, teachers spend a lot of time trying to tick boxes. Mm-hmm. So you ask the children to include certain things in their writing. They're in my head. Maybe not. Maybe I'm the only teacher that this happens to. But I feel like they need to expand. So I spend a lot of time, getting them to include like adverbs, verbs, adjectives. Put these, make sure every sentence has got these in. Like, make sure you're expanding.
Gavin, slice them, get rid of them. I'm like, I'm like a word surgeon. I was just looking at a tree, thinking like, there's branches, you chop them. I'm like the tree surgeon for words. So I'm very much like chop them. And
short,
sharp. Yeah,
to the point.
And so that's something that you struggle with essentially, and find it difficult at times. Specifically, that element of copywriting.
Yeah, I also just don't find writing motivationally to do. I don't think it makes sense. You know
what? Why you're not a good copywriter?
I also struggle.
That seemed like it came straight out of Shakespeare. It was profound.
Yeah, so I struggle to talk as well. So communicating and just
copywriting is to write how you talk as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I just think for me, if you were to say to me, right, here's an idea, and it could be anything, three tips when starting an online business. Say somebody came to me and said that, I would much rather pull out my phone and shoot a video and talk and share 3 tips than to sit down and write a blog post on how to, like, I don't find typing and writing engrossing at all. Like, if anything, I actually dread it. Like, it's kind of like the broadcast I write is kind of like, I really have to.
So it's not just the fact, okay, so for instance, the element of copywriting which you find challenging is that you have to be very, very particular with your language, which takes quite a lot of consideration. You have to be very considerate. Trust me, I know. And especially with someone, for you, you're saying that you don't even like writing. So it's not even just that copywriting is challenging because it takes a lot of consideration. It's consideration in a bloody area that you just don't want to be. You're just not. Yeah. Okay. So that for you is something that you really don't like, for the activity of it, and for the duration, and for the amount of attention that it requires of your brain power.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the sort of thing, like, if I had an infinite bank account, then I would just go and find somebody who is incredible at copywriting,
right.
and just be like, here you go, like, come work for me. Like, there you go, like, write to your heart's content.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even that simple, unfortunately, when you hire a copywriter, because we kind of like just nip at your ankles anyway, and you have to it's collaborative. So unfortunately, that wouldn't work. But you can dream anyway.
No, but I don't mind sitting like this on a Zoom call and answering questions, anything they need to know. Fine, I'll tell them. But when it actually comes to sitting and typing,
not a fan.
No.
Fair enough. Okay, so what's the impact of that on your business, hey?
It's a slog to get things like websites built, because I just don't want.
And you love a website. You do like building a website.
I do. I've built several. I've blown many up. Like, I've done that. It's quite successful. My first ever one that I built, it took me, I think it was like 3 days, and I managed to blow it up completely. So I had no idea. I was a complete newbie. No idea how to fix it. No idea where to go. I YouTubed it. I Googled it.
What do you mean by blow it up?
Like, I don't know. I changed some of the code, so then it didn't work.
All right. Okay.
But I don't know what I changed, or why I changed it, or how I could even. And then I realized.
Was this the lifestyleteacher.com, or was this a different domain completely?
No, this was like, it was like the very first version of that.
Right. Okay.
I'm going back years, like before you were even around.
Stabilizers, before I was born.
Before Caroline was born.
Before I was born, yeah.
Before, long before. Maybe when the dinosaurs roamed free. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But no, it's literally yeah.
Okay, so that's to do with tech, actually, rather than copywriting. But okay, we were going on the path that you love building websites, which he does. I can attest to that. He's always going, I'm going to build this new website. I'm like, right, okay.
But why I drag my heels with that is because I can build them, but then I have to put words on them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really where I sit, and I think.
Well, there's definitely room for collaborating, because I bloody hate building. So we'll do some swapsy. This is beneficial already. Maybe I'll just stop the podcast, and we've got our like collaborative business plan in action.
That's it.
Okay. So it's difficult for you, especially because of the number of websites you like to build, to move forward when that you struggle with copywriting, and writing in general, because that's kind of essential. Getting words on a page is essential, essentially lots of essentials in online business. And is there any more deeper problems that this causes, or is it just simply like moving forward? Does this make sense? I'm kind of like, what are the implications? Like, what are the real implications of not even perfecting the craft of copywriting, but by dragging your feet on a particular task? How does that, what implications does that cause on your progression?
Massive ones, to be honest. Like, as I say, I have in the past built one of my apparently hundreds of websites. I don't think I've actually built that many. Can I just clarify?
I embellish. I feel like
I've built maybe like 4.
That's actually less than me, I think.
Wait,
anyway,
1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. I'm not. So I have built one of those previously in a day. Like, when I knew what I was doing, where I was at,
and writing included. Ooh.
Yeah, writing as well. Words on screen.
Right.
And so I have done that in the past. So I know I can do it. So I guess really, like, for example, just right now, I'm trying to build a new website. It's just like, it's been like 2
Are you
weeks and I've still not done
sitting
it.
in front of your computer, just like?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And is this specifically with writing?
Pretty
You've got
much,
all
yeah. I
the
mean,
elements in place. You know what you want to say. You know what you want to sell to a certain extent. You know what you want it to portray. You just can't get the writing out. You can't get the words out.
basically, yeah. Like, you know, and to be honest, the website I'm talking about right now is an affiliate website for the SFM.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I definitely know the product. I've been in there for like over 4 years now, and so I know what I need and what I need to do, but it's just a simple case of just kind of get stuck on how to say what I want to say.
Mm-hmm. And how long does it take you to get moving on that? How long does it take you to finally write what you need to write?
It can take me weeks.
What to achieve a task that should take you a day? It could take you weeks.
Yeah. So like, for example, like I recently rewrote my about me. In fact, I think I sent it to you, didn't I? I always send things together. And and you were saying to me, and you're absolutely right, like, you know, what is the purpose of this? And really, I was just kind of like, I thought I just wanted to introduce myself, like relationship building, not necessarily selling, but like relationship building. And see, struggling with words yet again. And I just wanted to build a relationship with it a bit. Even though I just kind of struggled, like, how do I word it properly? Like, obviously I know my own story.
We're a nightmare. We're a hot mess. Can't get anything right.
Obviously I know my own story, but it's then thinking, how can I put that down in an impactful way? That's where I get.
Is
really
that to think
stuck.
maybe where the pressure is that the pressure with copywriting is that you want to essentially, and I know you as well, you do things from a good place and you actually really care about helping people, which attests, you know, your teaching background is probably beaten that into you. So is there potentially some pressure that you're putting on yourself with your copywriting that comes from the fact that you don't know how it's going to impact people and you want it to have the most positive impact and be the most relevant to the product you're selling, to the person you are, and to their particular problem, that it gives you perfection paralysis?
Pretty much.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone can really empathize with wanting something to be as powerful as it possibly can, and the multitude of options available in a circumstance that kind of makes you like, what way is the best way to present something? What business is the most supportive for my lifestyle? What website is the best like portal for my members or for my message? Like, we have so many different options in so many different areas that we can get overwhelmed and paralyzed by trying to do the right thing but not knowing how to execute on that. I just took the stage right there. The floor is mine.
It's not like you.
I know. What was it? Damn it!
No,
I think always make it about you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think it is. Everything. I try to do it from good intentions, like always, and that's always my intention. That's always no. It always comes from good intention, and you're absolutely spot on. Like, I try and think about how can I have the most impact on this person who's going to read this life, on their life, and that's where it comes from. Interestingly, though, I don't struggle to help others. If somebody comes to me, but if somebody comes to me with a script or something they want me to read, I'm very good at like helping them condense it down. But when it comes to doing it for myself,
why do you think that is?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know, but I can't seem to do it for myself. Or maybe it's because I've written it. I don't know. Maybe because it's coming from my perspective, I don't know. But when someone else brings me their script or asks me to read something, I'm very good at going through it with them.
You are actually. You're very intuitive. You're very reflective. You're very like on point. You understand the person's perspective on the other side of the content, the creative, the space. So yeah, it's quite strange actually that this is an area that you struggle with yourself. And I think, to be honest, it doesn't really matter what area it specifically is, because I think we've touched on a bigger topic there, which isn't just copywriting, it's perfection paralysis. of why is, like, you know, why do we get stuck behind why do we get stuck behind perfection when we could move forward with adequate, you know, like, and which one is actually more productive and useful and helpful to the other person, adequate and not quite hitting the mark, or perfect that doesn't go anywhere? Which one? Like, and you know, so there's obviously we need to find the balance between you know, quality and execution. And I, as a creative, it's impossible for me to move forward on things. I have to create deadlines for myself that are non-negotiable, because for me it can always be improved. I can always make things better. I'm a very, very harsh critic of myself. So I guess it is, and I think everyone can really empathize with working so hard on something that inhibits its ability to reach anyone, versus going, this is good enough, it will do, let's do it, move on. And then, you know, there's always room for improvement. So maybe that's something we can all take in our stride. We can all empathize with the fact that we all do that to a certain extent. It's just that yours happens to be with copywriting, which, funnily enough, it's actually with mine as well. I'm very much a perfectionist with my copywriting. I just happen to be really good at it.